Welcome back, everybody. The New York Knicks just got nastier. We just got deeper, a whole lot more entertaining by signing a guy by the name of Yabusele, the Dancing Bear. Officially a New York Knick. Fresh off of a breakout year with the Philadelphia 76ers, this is a 6'8", 260-pound French bruiser who's bringing his unique blend of power and finesse and pure joy to Madison Square Garden. It's the latest win now move by Leon Rose, who has already dealt Julius Randle before the regular season last year for Karl-Anthony Towns, and now just hired former coach of the year, Mike Brown, to lead a deep playoff tested roster. I absolutely love it. And that's what I want to talk about real quick, because this signing is important. I'm going to call him Yabu. Yabu's time in Philly turned heads. Why he wanted to be a Knick, though, who he compares to in New York lore, is what I want to look at. So when the Sixers picked up Yabu, many thought that he would be a funky like rotation piece. Instead, he became one of the most reliable and fearsome power players off of their bench, actually in the entire Eastern Conference. Surprisingly, he's a big man with elite footwork and touch. His footwork is ballet clean, and it shows in how he glides through pick and rolls and finishes through contact. He's not just a bruiser, he's actually graceful. The man also has a shooting stroke. He shot over 36% from three on decent volume in Philly, spacing the floor, punishing switches. Talk about switch, he's switchable on defense. He held his own when switched onto guards and empowered through contact against the bigs. In the playoffs, he played key defensive minutes against Bam Adebayo and Al Horford. And he also has that Philly grit, that French flair. He had attitude, he was flexing, he was balking, he was scrambling, and he always had a wink with it. So there's no surprise why Philly fans loved him, but then he chose to leave Philly for us New York boys. And that's the piece that I like, because that energy is what we're familiar with. And he even said it. He said, I want to feel that garden shake. He had a random press conference where Yabu made it clear he didn't leave Philly for money. He didn't leave Philly for minutes. He left for the Mecca. So he said when he was at the Garden last year in the playoffs, it felt like he felt it in his chest. He felt MSG in his chest. That energy, that crowd. He said he wanted to feel that with them, but not against them. I laughed because he also mentioned, he said, then you also look at the New York Knicks with someone like Jalen Brunson, who draws defenders and is also a great passer. And then someone like Karl-Anthony Towns, who's super impactful in his game. Those were some of the reasons he pointed at. He said, so you start seeing similar strengths in both teams. He was trying to decide between the Knicks and Denver, actually. He said, we took some time to think about it, think it through, and make sure that we were making the right decision. But in the end, we truly believe New York is the best choice we could have made. He also praised the New York Knicks' culture and their leadership and the new head coach, actually, that's coming in. He said Mike Brown is someone who commands respect. He also said he knows how to coach winners. JB, Cat, Bridges. These guys are hungry. I want to fight with them, not watch them from the other bench. This wasn't just a signing. It was a mission statement by Leon Rose. Something that he made clear, this is another piece that has to be ethics over emotions, mind over matter. Because after Julius Randle for Cat, that blockbuster, the Knicks added elite shooting and we added offensive versatility. But there was still something missing. There was that physical, there was that emotional, that defensive forward who could protect leads, bang inside, and who's going to give Mike Brown that lineup flexibility. Yabu checks every box for us. Defensive depth behind Cat. Towns isn't a physical defender. Yabu is. He gives Brown the option to play big or small, switch or drop, depending on the matchup. In terms of that second unit, he brings that enforcer. With McCall Bridges and Josh Hart hounding the perimeter, Yabu gives that second unit a front court presence who doesn't get pushed around, especially in the playoffs. That was one of the most frustrating things to watch, how we lacked physicality. He also brings that locker room toughness. This is a playoff tested team now. You need guys who keep the energy up, hold teammates accountable, and don't flinch. Yabu has proven that he belongs in those wars. But most of all, he brings that heart. And in New York, we all know that matters. We smell that on any player that puts on an orange and blue. Do you have heart? And to me, his comparison to former Knicks is Anthony Mason with a jumper. Let's be real. This guy was built in a lab to be a New York Knick. Watch him. Watch the highlights. A player that comes to mind is Mase, but with a little bit of a modern twist. Like Mase, Yabu can guard threes, he can guard fours, and he can guard some fives. Is he an elite screener who can see the floor? He thrives on physicality and chaos. But unlike Mason, Yabu can stretch the floor. He is a legit three-point threat, which means he fits next to Cat, Mitchell Robinson, or even in a small ball lineup where he's at the center. So if we ever need a closing, five with versatility, so we can try Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Yabu, and Towns. That lineup is switchable. That lineup is physical and can shoot. That's a problem for anybody in the East. It's a problem for anybody in the East. And the big picture is Mike Brown's dream puzzle piece. That's it. Brown preaches defense, detail, and effort. In Sacramento, he maximized Sabonis and turned a loose group into a top seed threat. Now he has Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, McCall Bridges, OG Anunoby, and a bench unit with guys like Campaign, Yabu, and who we just signed? You know who we signed? Clarkson. This isn't just about adding talent. This is about identity. And the Knicks just added a big who doesn't want to score 25 a night. He wants to win dirty. He wants to hustle. He wants to bleed for the Garden. And you gotta love that. So I wanted to hop on here because even in signing him, Leon Rose continues to be at work. He was able to convince him to sign at a lesser price so that we can add two more veterans. What are we doing? Make no mistakes, Yabu is about to be a fan favorite in New York. His energy, his grin, his snarl, his celebrations. I don't know about the nickname the Dancing Bear, but those chants are going to be real. And this isn't the end. With Mike Brown at the helm and a roster that just came within 2 wins of the NBA Finals. The Knicks are signaling right now to this league, we're not done yet. We're just getting started. Welcome to the Knicks, young man. Welcome to the Knicks, Yabu. They call you the Dancing Bear. Let's dance. What say you? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. But also remember this, whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here at Knicks Deli, everybody eats. I'm your boy, Sheil.